One of the best parts of being a part of The Source is connecting with community members and helping to share their inspirational stories. My next guest has faced tremendous challenges and has been advocating for the power of perseverance. I would like to welcome Stephen LaSalle to our studio.
Thank you very much, Kate.
Thank you for joining us today. And Stephen, for those who are unfamiliar with your story, can you just share a bit about the injury and what happened back in 2018?
In 2018, on a routine training exercise, I suffered a injury to my left leg, and the resulting injury led me to being diagnosed with a rare nerve condition that subsequently resulted in my leg being amputated below the knee.
Take us back to that. What was that whole experience like?
It was very traumatic, to say the least. I spent 2 years before amputation while they tried different procedures and drugs to try to get what was swelling and insane amount of pain under control. And it was very frustrating, a very dark period, not sure, just trying to get through each day, really.
How did you keep yourself, healthy, your mindset through such an experience?
I think at the beginning, in that darkness, it was really my children, my boys that, kept me focused, that I needed to hang on for them. But I really broke down the days to just getting through to lunchtime, and I'd get through lunchtime hour, and I've made it through lunch, made it to dinner, and then at dinner I've made it that far. Now we just got to get to bedtime, and then we've made it through the day. We'll get through tomorrow, and just chunked it that way.
Yeah, when the decision came to amputate, what was the process like for you, both mentally and physically?
I was relieved in a lot of ways because, as I said, it was really, I believe, a 2-year process where I was regularly seeing the doctors, trying to get the injury under control, and I would be pleading with them to cut off the leg just so I could get some semblance of life back. And when the decision finally came that it was time, I was relieved in a lot of ways because I saw it as that opportunity to get back to some semblance of life.
And so moving forward through the healing process, you really started to raise awareness about mental health issues like PTSD. So can you share a bit about that journey and what you're doing now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think having experienced a great deal of darkness and really struggled with my own mental health and being diagnosed through my service with PTSD, I really realized that there's a lot of people struggling out there, especially men. And it's not something that we talk about openly, about our struggles with mental health. So I became an advocate and really sharing my own story, my own darkness, and how I overcome each day, still even. And to do that, to help me through my own darkness, I became a para-endurance athlete. One of the things that really helped me out in the darkest of the days, I remember my mental health team would be, just get out to the gym, just even the home gym, just do something. And that's really become my escape. And it's been a wonderful feeling to be able to accomplish everything.
And let's take a look. So here you are.
Great picture.
That is a good picture. So talk, what kind of training goes into this?
So with para-triathlon, para-triathlon is a sport that involves 3 disciplines. So swimming, which at the para level is 750 meters of open water swimming. 20-kilometer bike ride, which you see in the picture, and then a 5-kilometer run, which I do in a racing wheelchair. So the amount of training is quite intense. It involves swimming, strength and conditioning training, as well as cycling and out running in my racing wheelchair on a daily basis, which really is a huge help for me. I can't be at home alone too long. The darkness, the thoughts will really start to set in. So having that opportunity to get out and to push myself, not only does it help the feeling of darkness, but it's a great sense of reward.
Absolutely. And so the equipment needed to compete is very different and very expensive, and the communities of Smithville and Beamsville have been supporting you. So tell me a bit about the fundraiser that happened over the summer.
Over the summer, the Legion in Smithville, they hosted a fundraiser which involved a dunking tank, which seemed to be quite popular.
Oh, yes.
People seem to line up to dunk me. To help raise money for my equipment. As you said, it's quite expensive right now. I'm using borrowed or donated equipment, and as I progress, now I need better equipment. So over the summer, they helped raise some funds towards what we're working on, a new hand cycle right now. And then subsequently, we'll be looking at a racing wheelchair.
Okay, and you just returned from competing in Barcelona.
That's
in
correct.
an event. So how was that? Just tell me about that.
That was insane, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
One of the things I do struggle with having PTSD is swimming, because I'm right out there in the water. I don't have a lot of control. So going to Barcelona, swimming in the Mediterranean in the open sea was what we'd call type 2 fun, right?
Yeah.
In the moment, you're questioning why you're doing it.
Yeah.
But finishing the swim was an incredible feeling, and then getting out and being able to cycle and participate in Barcelona was an incredibly rewarding experience, and I look
Wow.
forward to doing it again.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Now, you're also a client ambassador for Motion Cares. So what is the message of motivation that you want to share?
Really, to persevere, that life isn't all rainbows and unicorns and magical pixie dust, right? It does suck at times, but when you really do embrace that suck and get over it, it makes you more resilient and more tough, and you're able to embrace the challenges of life a lot easier as you go forward.
So as you continue on this journey, what's next?
I will be going to Europe over the winter for a little bit to do some training, and then working with the coaches. We're planning a pretty intense international racing schedule, I think, for 2026.
Wow. So for those people who are watching this interview and say, wow, I want to connect with him, either they want to help or, maybe they're interested in getting into some sport like this.
Yeah, they can definitely reach out to my website at stephenlassalle.ca and connect with me or my team that way, and I'd be happy to connect people with my journey and help them get involved in the sport as well.
And so when you're out there, competing, what's that environment like? I mean, being an athlete is next level. The commitment, the dedication, the mindset. And when you're with the other athletes, what's that like?
In a lot of ways, it's motivating. I'm one of the very few para athletes in a lot of the races. So to be out there and it's hard to explain. You're inspiring the other athletes at the same time, and they're cheering you on. It's, again, such a great motivating feeling, and it really does provide the energy to keep going.
I was going to say the camaraderie must be just
even in the
next
para
level.
in the para community.
Yeah.
We're a pretty tight group,
Yeah.
and we really support each other and encourage each other through.
Oh, that's just amazing. Well, you have a very inspirational story, and thank you so much for joining us
You're
and for
welcome.
being so open and sharing it, because it is so important. Like you said, a lot of mental health just isn't spoken about. So,
And it's definitely something that we need to be open, and we need to embrace our vulnerability and share with people when we're struggling.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you again for
Thank you.
joining me in the studio today. Up next, how motorists can keep the roads in Niagara as safe as possible. Please stay with us.